I see a lot of people's builds looking like this, but with these 5 simple tips, you can make your build look like this. Isn't this so cool? You could be a pro builder with these 5 tips. Make sure you like and subscribe. Now, you can use any block palette for any block, but I've laid out some good block palettes for you to use that will always work together and can be really reliable. So this is more of a darker wood style block palette. This is what I normally use for my builds, as you can see from the intro. So it's got spruce wood, my favorite wood in the game personally. Some oak wood, which can be used in a lot of different applications. 3 different types of stones. It's just light to dark, you know. And then a bunch of different types of woods that you can use. Normally I'd use like these logs as like corners, borders for stuff in builds. So yeah. Next up is like a lighter style. So you got birch and oak wood, which would make like a lighter wood build. Cobblestone, which looks really good with oak and birch wood, and it's a lighter type of stone. You got stripped oak and oak logs. They're just pretty good blocks in general, and stripped birch, which is really light. I didn't include the normal log because it looks really ugly. Next up is this stone palette. So you got normal stone, obviously, cobblestone, stone bricks, and black stone. And then some wood that you could use as accent colors together. I'd use the wood as an accent color because it makes it have color instead of just being monotone. But I use this sometimes for more monotone builds, or I'll just use pale oak. Okay, so here I have a stone texturing setup. So here, obviously my base block is stone. I got some mossy pale moss, and use that, gravel and andesite, and I sprinkled it around, and it makes it have a really nice texture. Makes it look realistic instead of just having a stone wall, which isn't very interesting and looks really bland. So here, what I did was I made more of a wood texture. I use this actually in a lot of builds. So obviously you got your spruce wood base, and then you got some oak wood sprinkled in there to make it have a really light accent color. And then you got some stripped spruce logs to give it more of a texture while still having the same color. I use this personally in a lot of different builds, and it always looks pretty good. So here I'm just demonstrating the use of depth to not make my builds look boxy. So as you can see here, first off I made these pillars offset from the thing, so it gives it more depth. It's 2 blocks thick instead of just 1 block. Makes it to where you can put more detail in and make it have more depth. Then I used glass planes instead of just full glass blocks, because that makes it to where it has even more depth and more differentiation in like length, widthness. And I also use some spruce trapdoors to give it like a shutters kind of feel, and it also adds more depth. And I got stairs to make it feel less boxy. A lot of beginners, when they build, their builds look really boxy, and this kind of makes it separated more and makes it look more interesting. I got some leaves just to add some color to it all. Next up is different roof types. Roofs are very important to your build. They can really either make or break your build. It's one of the most important things in your build. So first we just got the basic roof design, just the 45-degree angle with the stairs. Most people use this. It's the most easy to build and quick. I use this in most survival builds just because it doesn't use as much things. But this can always look good. It's all reliable when you don't really have a roof idea. This style of roof is more of like a towery, like slanted type, more vertical. I really like to use this on like fantasy style builds. This can always look pretty good if you're building like a bigger house. A really tall roof on like a 2-3 story house that's like skinny, more of a tower type. This can always look good on those. And this type. So I, for some reason, like to make a lot of barns. I always use this type of roof on like a barn. It's very flat and it's really good for wide buildings. Kind of like how that one was really good for skinnier buildings. This one's really good for wide buildings that cover a lot of area. And this is also pretty reliable. I use it a lot. And those are like your 3 main roof types that you're probably going to see in most builds. On to tip number 5. I didn't actually make a build for the last game, so I decided it'd be a good idea to play a round of Roblox Rivals while I give you the last tip. So yeah, here's a clip from that game, I guess. All of the tips that I gave you don't matter if you don't practice. You need to build every day and practice your building, or else you're never going to get better. What is this kid doing? Okay. And also that you need to build hard stuff and exercise. Ooh. Ooh, holy flick.